welcome back to my channel, Lorena HD, for a new video. This month's video is centered around prejudices that we have on herpes, and especially I'm gonna share the biggest prejudice I had regarding herpes. I also bought this new top that I really like, which is why I'm wearing it, kind of like I'm going to the club, but I'm actually just shooting a video. Don't mind me! What sparked this video was actually a question that was asked to me in an interview I did recently, humble brag aside, but it was actually a really interesting question. And so the question was, living with an STI, were there moments where you had to correct your own prejudices? Now, my answer to that question on the spot was that I used to be one of those people who used to think that STIs happen to a certain type of people, or that you have to do a certain type of thing to contract an STI. I also used to think of STIs in type of hierarchy. Like, I used to think when I didn't have herpes, I was like, well, at least it's not herpes. And then when I contracted herpes, I was like, well, at least it's not HIV. And essentially what I was doing was moving from one stigma to another, but still very much operating within the confined space and mindset of the stigma. And speaking of HIV, I want to spend 1 minute talking about U equals U, because I don't think it's getting the amount of attention and awareness that it deserves. So U equals U means undetectable equals untransmittable. And this describes a situation where someone living with HIV on antiretroviral medication reaches a point where the viral load, so the amount of virus that is present in their body, is so little that it becomes undetectable. So this means that a person with HIV who is undetectable can have unprotected sex with someone who doesn't have HIV and have zero risk to transmit HIV to this person. And this is so crazy and so amazing that we've come such a long way since, AIDS was an epidemic that was killing so many people, and it still is killing a lot of people today who don't have access to this medication. However, it is really a breakthrough from science to have developed those prevention methods that are actually, like when I was saying, well, at least it's not HIV, meaning like at least it's not going to kill you, the joke was on me because HIV today has a prevention method that is bulletproof against transmission. So, but now let's go back to moments where I had to correct my own prejudice. And the answer that I gave, as I was saying earlier, was more prejudice that I had regarding other people or regarding other STIs. But really, I should have started with prejudices that regarded myself. So speaking from personal experience here, but I have a feeling that it's actually very pervasive, I used to have this picture of me, this perception of myself, and also the perception of how people perceived me, which is probably what we're all doing, like on social media, where we curate our profile to sort of manipulate or influence the perception that people are going to have of who we are, who we hang out with, what we like, what we're into, etc. Except I wasn't doing this actively, like consciously. It was more of a subconscious exercise. And at hindsight, I realized that what had been getting in the way of me accepting my herpes diagnosis for, about 2 years before I actually really embraced it, was precisely that picture. So it's not just that, herpes and weaknesses and failures didn't fit in that picture. It's that I didn't fit in that picture. Like the real, authentic, imperfect, unedited, unfiltered Lorene didn't fit. And for my real self to actually, emerge, I had to let go of those fake ideals that I had created for myself and that I was first and foremost attached to. The biggest fears that we feel when we contract herpes are always always related to how other people are going to see us. Like we start thinking things like, how disappointed will my family be? Or what will my friends think of me? Or how grossed out will my partner or future partners feel? And chances are none of these people ever said anything to make us believe that they would judge us or see us any differently if we revealed our status. What's making us believe that they'll be disappointed is because we think they see us as our self-created ideal rather than our actual selves. And what's speaking here is all the toxic pressure that we put on ourselves to always be perfect, and thinking that if we're not perfect, then, we'll disappoint. But if your friend came up to you and confided in you that they just found out that they were diagnosed with herpes, like, would you judge them? Or if a relative of yours was coming to you and telling you that they've contracted herpes, would you think differently of them? And again, like if a partner of yours was to tell you that they have herpes before getting intimate with you, would your first thought be like, ew? From personal experience, usually partners tend to process this news in terms of what it means for them and their health, rather than just plain like, ew, gross. So the answer that I wish I gave to the question, were there moments where you had to correct your own prejudice, in addition to the one that I already gave, is that contracting herpes really put me in this tete-a-tete with all the toxic pressure I was putting on myself to always appear perfect, to supposedly fit the expectations of people in my entourage, but really fitting the expectations that I had for myself, which were 100% driven from insecurities. And it really helped me accept myself, my true, raw, unfiltered, imperfect at times, and perfect in my own way, without giving myself a hard time for it. And if you're in that situation, I just want to advise you to try to do the same and let go of the fake ideal you that you are hanging on more than anyone else around you. You are hanging on that. And let your imperfect yet super resilient and strong self just be who it is meant to be. If you think this video was helpful, please leave a thumbs up. And if you have gone through this dissociation of fake self and real self, yourself, oh, that's a lot of selves. But if you have gone through the same process, please let me know how you went about it and how it worked out for you in the comments below. If you want to chat with me privately, you can DM me on Instagram at LoreenHD. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.